Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jessica and it is Franken Friday. I'm kind of excited for this. The time has come. I am finally going to be pressing this Bare Minerals soft black eyeshadow. I have been neglecting it because it's kind of inconvenient to constantly open this up and get into it when I always have my palettes open. So I am going to be pressing it into this 26mm pan. Hopefully it will all fit in there. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just going to go ahead and mix it up right in this container. I didn't even think about it being black on black, so hopefully you guys can see it okay. I'm just going to scrape all of this in here, and then I'm going to show you what I am going to be using. There's probably going to be like a little bit left in this lid, but we'll make sure it all gets used up. If it doesn't make it into this container, then I'll just use it as is. Like I will open this up and, use all of that up. So I am going to obviously be using my alcohol. I did find my container with the dropper in it. I had it sitting in my drawer with this, which is the Easy Press. It is just a pressing medium. I got this from Coastal Scents many, many years ago. And I'm sure you can find stuff on like Amazon, or I know TKB Trading carries stuff like this, since those are, TKB Trading is a makeup company. So, like you can, it's not like a typical makeup company, not like you can't buy pre-made stuff. It is ingredients to make your own. So I'm going to shake that up. It gives that like milky look. I'll shake it up again in a minute, but right now I'm just going to start with putting some alcohol in this. But yeah, you can get a lot of the ingredients that I use, that I used to get from Coastal Scents, from TKB Trading. And you can Franken your own stuff. You can play with what you have, like Franken, and do those kinds of things. Now I'm just looking for my little spatula, so give me a second. There it is. I found it. So I'm going to just pull this away from the side so I can see what I still need to add. Okay. I wanted to make sure this was completely saturated because I need to get the Easy Press in there. And if it's too dry, it's not going to mix well. So you almost have to oversaturate it to make sure that you get a good mix on the pressing medium. I'm going to try to be careful with this, but you just never know with me. I'm just going to try and put a few drops in. All right, I got about 5 drops in there. Hopefully that wasn't too much. We'll find out, I guess. I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up quite well before I start trying to put it into my little pan here. All right, that is mixed up pretty well. I'm actually gonna turn my camera off for a few minutes. I'm gonna let some of the alcohol naturally evaporate before I put it into the pan, and then it'll be easier to press out. I find it very difficult to press out when there is this much alcohol, but you kind of have to do it this way in order to get a good mix on the pressing medium. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this sit for a little bit, and then we will be back. All right, it's actually been about 20 minutes, and I am going to start putting some of this in here. It is still on the thin side. It's just not quite as thin as it was, but we're going to have to go for it because I have to get this video up. So we're just going to start getting this moved into here, and then we will press everything out. All right, let's go ahead and slowly start to press some of this out. I'm just going to lay this on here, and I'm not going to press very hard. I'm going to be very gentle till I can get some of the alcohol started into the cloth here, so it doesn't all press out. I hope that makes sense. I've got it on my fingers here. I'm making a mess. All right, so I'm just gonna gently tap into this. Part of the reason I go slow with this is, one, it will squish out if I don't, but two, if you only let the surface on the other side touch the product without letting the alcohol soak through, you will actually have more of it stick to the other side of your cloth. So you want to let it do its own thing for a minute. You can start to see the alcohol coming through here. And we'll see. And it squished out. That was what I was afraid of. We're going to just let that sit for a few minutes. I'm going to put that right back down, and we're just going to let it sit. I was afraid that this was going to happen just because it is so thin. So I'm just going to let that sit. I'm going to turn the camera off again, let it sit, and then we will let the alcohol wick up into this cloth, and then we'll get the stuff off the edge that kind of squeezed out there. We'll get that cleaned up and put back into the pan, and then continue to press it out. Okay, let's try this again. It's been sitting here for about another 20 minutes. We're just going to peel this back. And look, you can see not a lot has been sticking on here, just where it kind of spilled over. So we're going to clean this up here where it spilled over. And look, that looks significantly better. We are going to get this off of the mat. It's a good thing I cleaned it before I started. It was well worth the wait of letting that sit with the cloth on top of it. All right, let's get that in there. And I'm going to press this piece down because it does have a little bit more on it. We'll see if we can get any of that off of there. It may not work. It may not. No, it's not really coming off of that one spot. That's okay. Not the end of the world. I'm just going to move it down to this side and press out some more. Got a little bit that's squeezed out on this side. Just need to clean that up a little bit. Yeah, it is all over my fingers from where it spilled out. All right, let's press this one last time. All right, and there it is. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to give this some extra time in the room where I have my dehumidifier, and hopefully within the next 24 hours I should be able to use this. But it is not even a full pan, which, you know, that's because I did partially use some of this before, so we'll see how far I can get with this one this year. It is, I believe, in my 50 Shades of Black, so I have until April 15th to try and finish this one. But that is it. Hope you enjoyed this Franken Friday. And if you have any other requests for me, let me know down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until I see you on my next video, have a beautiful day.